So I'd gone 2 years without seeing a doctor, and I was determined that I was going to heal my cancer. Like, that was just a decision that I made on my own without surgery or any kind of treatment. And I was really going after like the dieting. I was like, that just made sense to me that like that would be the easiest thing to do. But because I had Crohn's and it's like a family thing, I already had a lot of digestive issues and food allergies and acne and rosacea. And so it really just trying to do like extreme diets made my body even angrier. I was miserable. Like, I was just having such a hard time and stress, and it was hard on my family. And because I have two little kids at home, I have a husband who's simple as far as his diet. He's meat and potatoes kind of guy. So I was doing the dieting thing and other type of modalities, and I hadn't been to the doctor for 2 years. So I finally got to a point that I went back to the endocrinologist, and nothing's changed. They pretty much said that it was just stable. The nodule was still the same size. It looks like as if it hadn't been spreading to the lymph nodes in the surrounding areas. So from what they could tell is it wasn't metastasizing or doing anything naughty. I made the decision that I was going to keep trying. I was going to give it like one last hurrah and just pull out all the stops. I'm like, I was going to give myself 6 months and just really try. And I was telling my husband about this story of someone who had healed themselves. He said, "Yeah, but aren't those people that usually are able to heal themselves naturally have money?" And I was just like, "Fuck you!" And I was just joking because I would never actually say that to my husband. He's amazing. But I felt that, and I could just feel something inside me of like, no, like that's not right. Like, I have limited myself on a lot of things and a lot of opportunities, and money was always there. Like, it was always the issue, and I'm like, not this time. No. Like, I am not going to resort into needing my thyroid taken out and my ability to heal because of money. But it was always but I agreed with him. I was like, absolutely. I have noticed that there is a connection there. A lot of people that have healed themselves naturally are able to afford to do the retreats. They can fly to Abu Dhabi and do the juicing and fasting and the Dr. Joe's retreats. And he's definitely a big one that has a high success rate in healing people just going there. And I just felt like I couldn't afford it. Like, I can't spend more on a retreat than I did on my car. Like, we're not in that position, and I didn't want to put that burden on my family. And there were some people that like had total faith of going to like Dr. Joe's retreats. They're like, I just knew I couldn't afford it, but if I went, like something good would happen. And then sure enough, like someone just handed them like an envelope of money to pay for their trip. And I was like, that's great, awesome. But there's also another 1,000 people there that did not get an envelope of money and had to pay out of their pocket. And I knew, like, if shit really hit the fan with the cancer and I felt like it was getting out of control, to the point where I was uncomfortable, I did have a plan B of like, I would max out my credit cards or whatever I had to do, get a loan, and I would do one of those resorts. I knew like the 7-day fasting retreats were successful for a reason. So I knew there were extreme things that I could do, but or like vitamin C infusions, there's so many different things that you could really just stay on top of. Or even my chiropractor. He's homeopathic, and he does any NET practice, and it's like a neuro something. It's like he pretty much does like muscle testing and can read the emotions like in your body and like the trapped everything like trapped. I'm not explaining it the way I should be, but he's amazing, and he is like one of the best in his field. He's won multiple rewards, and he also healed his own lymphoma by seeing another doctor like him. Um, but again, and that's another reason also of like he had an immaculate diet already, and he even said that he's like, my body was perfectly alkaline and the cancer loved it. So I had seen that multiple other places too, as far as dieting is like, yeah, no, there's a lot of healthy vegans out there who run and eat super clean and don't have preservatives and never have, and then they still get cancer. So I was starting to realize that like it really wasn't about the food or the dieting, but to me it just seemed like that would be the easiest thing to do. So what I ended up doing was I had seen Dr. Joe's name pop up once in a while, and I was just like, man, yeah, like that's cool, like, but meditation, I was just like, so lame. It's so lame. Like, it's just so lame. It just wasn't my thing. And I had tried meditating like 10 years ago, and this was like before I had kids. This was like when I was more like in my prime and feeling good. I tried meditating, and a fly kept landing on my skin, and it was like summer, and I was hot, and I was already sweaty. And the third time it landed on my skin, I went from 0 to 10 and was just fully enraged, and I was going to burn my house down trying to kill that fly. Like the total opposite effect of what meditation should be doing. But that's also a sign that I need it more than anyone. Um, like there's a saying, like if you don't have time to sit down for 10 minutes, you need to sit for 20. Um, and so I started getting into Dr. Joe's work, and again, I was having a really hard time trying to do the meditations. I just kept getting interrupted. I had two little kids with me. I was a stay-at-home mom. I have dogs. I live in the country, but I still had like these logging trucks that go by every once in a while, and they're really loud. So, and I just could not find a quiet place or the time to do these meditations. So I would even try to do like the shorter ones. I would try to do a 10-minute meditation. And even then, like I would wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go downstairs in my kitchen to meditate, right? I'm like, okay, everyone's asleep. This is fine, May. And my 5-year old came down the stairs, and she was half asleep. And she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, how did you get down the stairs with your eyes closed? Like, like kids have this like sense of like, my mom is trying to enjoy herself without me, and I gotta do something about this. This is not okay. I gotta go find him. I will wake up in the dead of sleep to go find my parents because they're enjoying themselves. And I would just get even more enraged of just like, God, like I can't do it. I cannot do the meditation. And I tried everything, and or the opposite is I would fall asleep trying to do it. So I would try to do it at night, and I just couldn't get it. I couldn't get through them. I was downstairs, and Dr. Joe recommends to not have your back up against anything and to sit upright. And I was sitting upright on my couch, like this. And my husband came down. He's like, I don't think you're doing it right. I was like, huh? Huh? No, I'm not. Like I just could not get through the meditations. So I even tried like cheating. I'd like listen to them at night, which I know a couple other people that like Bruce Lipton and the Silva Method also recommend doing that. Do like an auto program, like, oh, you listen to the meditation at night, and your brain automatically just kind of absorbs that info. And I was like, all right, that makes sense. I can do that. And at least if I fell asleep with it, it kind of would just set me in a better mood to sleep with, rather than anxiety and panic of like, oh, I'm gonna die from cancer and it's spreading or whatever. Um, and I did feel like that would help. But at the same time, as I had two little kids sleeping in the room next to me, 5 and 2, and having headphones on during the night wasn't a great idea either. I'd like to be able to hear them. Um, so I was just getting really frustrated. But you're even reading his books. I'm not a reader, and I would try, and again, I would don't have the time. Like I would just get interrupted, or I would fall asleep trying to read it. It's just not how I work. I would just try to listen to his teachings as much as I could because it made sense to me, and that was why I was drawn to his teachings, was because it made sense. Um, like he was talking like it's not the diet, and I was like, yes, thank you. He's like, you can drink your coffee and heal. I'm like, yes, this guy's awesome, and I was like sold because I knew it wasn't about just the diet. It was a lifetime of fuckery that I've done to my body and my negative thinking. I had already started to realize that, and I could see the anxiety, especially like trying to meditate. I would just like I was so all over the place. I had already listened to his meditations enough, and it didn't matter what meditation. I tried them all, tried different ones. Um, I still got enough of it that I knew what he was saying, and I understood where he was coming from. Even like his interviews, if you listen to enough of them, it just kind of he's repeating himself because it's what it is. Like you are the cure. Like your energy is it's just all about the energy inside your body and just finding that balance. One morning I was laying down. I was still trying to wake up and do something, anything. Um, in the quiet of my own home. So I would wake up at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I would just go and lay down on my yoga mat and fall asleep, even if like it was still like the intent of I'm gonna do something for myself. Damn it, I will do this. I had come across a video when I was looking for his meditation, and it was one I had saved a while ago about Trey exercises, TRE, and it's by I'm not going to say his name right, Dr. Bercelli, and he had developed this practice of releasing trapped energy in your body. He grew up in a war zone, and he would see this connection of like when mortars were going off, people would start shaking. And we've come so far away from that, but it's a way of releasing our energy when something really scary is happening. And but nowadays, like if your boss is yelling at you, you can't just start shaking or they think you're nuts or you're gonna like snap. Like it's just not acceptable anymore. So he's developed a practice that if you're laying there, you start by just like lifting up your hips, and your hips will just start like shaking. And um and he was like, yeah, sometimes it takes like a couple sessions for it to start working, for you to start feeling that. And the moment I did it, my hips just started gyrating and like freaking out and like compulsing uncontrollably, and I'm like, what is happening? um and it was just this really cool feeling, and I was just able to let myself go. And I think one of the reasons why I was so receptive to it was because I was open already. From my chiropractor, he was doing something similar. He could do like muscle testings. He could make my body move without me even doing anything, or himself. Like he could just say certain words and my body would like resist or get really weak depending on what the word and what the emotion was connected to my body part. When my body immediately started like shaking and moving around, I would think of Dr. Joe's retreats, or at home doing their meditations. They would have these same experiences of like what I was happening is they could just feel this energy moving through their body of this uncontrollable of like, I don't know what's happening, but it's happening. So I was like, I'm doing it. I am doing it. Like I'm moving the energy. I can feel it. It's working, and this is good. This is this is progress. Yes. I kept doing it, and it was immediate relief for me. And I had never experienced that before through anything, any kind of diet or trying to do meditations or exercising, running, whatever, bouncing, rebounding. Um, and this was also, I had started doing it after like my digestive tract was really flared up to the point of like I had to quit my job. Like I couldn't even leave the bathroom. Like I started a new job, and I hadn't even been there yet. I had just done the interview and got the application, and I was supposed to go that day, and I ended up having to like be like, oh, sorry, I guess I can't take the job because I'm stuck in my bathroom and I don't see myself leaving for the next few days. So sorry, it's not going to work out. I had immediately relief. I started doing this every day, the tray exercises, the trauma release exercise. And within 2 weeks, my digestive system was completely like cleared. Like I didn't have any kind of like loose stools or anything. After I was done, I would just have this like complete relaxation. As I was doing the exercises, I would hear Dr. Joe's words going through my head of like, this is working, or like anything like in his meditations. I had listened to it enough that I knew what he was saying, and I was just able to apply that in my own way of how I could connect with it. And I end up just developing my own practice at home of movement and like meditating at the same way. And for some reason, it had something to do with the movement. If I was like interrupted, it didn't bother me. Like my kids could come and like hang off me, and I could still like do it. I was still like, my arms were, my body was just like, I end up like getting off the floor eventually and just letting my whole body just do its thing. And it's really kind of cool, because it's like I don't even know what I'm doing, but my body's like doing this like thing, and it's like, and I'll shake, and I couldn't stop doing it. And that's why I knew it was working, was I was just letting my body take over and do what it wanted to. It knew more than me. And that was also part of the reason why I knew that it was working for me, was because I was already aware of like the woo woo. Like when I was 13 years old, I fell off a second story building. I was on the roof, and something carried me down and set me on the ground. And my life just kept getting weirder from there. From there. But I knew, I could always hear my spirit guides, and I spent most of my life trying to ignore them. And so I just knew that there was something more out there for me. So I was already open to the idea of like channeling and energy, and that there was something greater out there than what I could see. And so again, I was just really receptive to what I was doing, and I just trusted. I'm like, okay, this is what I'm doing now. And I couldn't stop doing it. And it's been a year and a half now, and I just feel absolutely amazing. And right, sometimes I do it. I was doing it like 5 hours a day, and I was exhausted, but my body was really, really out of whack. I couldn't afford to go to Dr. Joe's retreats, or I didn't feel like I needed to, because I knew I could do it at home. And I would cling on to any of his stories of people doing his meditations from home and having success with them, because that's what I needed, and that's what I was trying to get after. And I think a lot of people forget that Dr. Joe himself, when he was injured, he messed up his back in a bike accident, and he was in the hospital, and he didn't want to get the surgery. And he still healed himself in the hospital and was able to walk out. And I think, and Dr. Joe didn't have Dr. Joe's meditations to listen to, if you get what I'm saying. Dr. Joe had Joe Dispenza's voice telling him what to do. Like, he had himself, he had his faith, and he knew he could do it. And that's what healed him. And if he can do it, then yeah. And that's just it. Is it's up to you. And I'm already there. Like, I already know I'm healed. Like, I know I am. And there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that what I'm doing is working, because it's my faith in my practice. And that is what's going to heal you. Oh, thank God. I thought that wasn't recording. Huh. Yay.